Hi, everybody. Welcome to TGCS. My name is Tim Gallagher, and today we are going to be discussing AP Computer Science A Topic 4.9, ArrayList Traversals. And in this first video, we'll develop some code used to traverse the elements of an array list and determine the results. And we'll also explore what happens when we try to traverse past the end of an array list. Let's get started. So here we have the beginning of a program where we declare an array list of strings called myList. Now we'll populate my list with strings, and we're not going to show that right now or worry about that code. But for now, let's just assume that the array list contains these 6 strings. Next, we're going to traverse our array list. And this means we're going to visit each element in the array list itself. We're going to accomplish this by using a for loop. Now in this loop, I represents our index for each location in the array list. We're going to start a traversal by declaring and initializing I to 0 because that's the first index in our array list. Our loop is going to go up to and include 5 because 5 is the index of the last element in our array list. And we're going to increment our loop by 1 each time using I++ because the indices of our array list increment by 1 as well. So inside the body of our loop, we're going to have a print statement that will print out each element of our list. It's going to call mylist.getI, which will return the string at location I with each iteration of the loop. And then we'll finish with a final print line statement. So let's see what happens when we run this code. I is going to start at 0 when we start our loop. So I is 0, and then the traversal begins at index 0. So mylist.getI is going to return the string located at index 0, and the gets printed out. I then increments to 1, and sun is printed out. When I is incremented to 2, sets get printed out. Then increments to 3, in is printed out. I increments to 4, the is printed out. And finally, when I is incremented to 5, the west is printed out. And our program ends. But what happens if we make this change to our loop? What if we change the Boolean condition to say I is less than or equal to 10? Now, there aren't 10 elements in this list, so when we run this, all of the strings print out correctly, but we do get an index out of bounds exception where the index is 6. Now, this is because there's no location 6 in our array list. Our traversal went out of bounds. Now, we know the contents of our array list can change, so what can we do to ensure that we always have the correct loop boundaries? Well, here we're going to use mylist.size in the Boolean condition, which will return the actual number of elements in the list. So now when we run this, we still get an exception. Why did this happen? Mylist.size returns 6, and there are 6 elements in the array list, but they're labeled 0 through 5. So instead of less than or equal to, we need to change our Boolean condition to be I less than mylist.size. Okay, now when we run this code, we get a proper traversal and it prints all of the strings in our array list, and it does not go out of bounds. Okay, let's look at one more variation. Let's change our for loop so that we start I at 1 and we increment by 2 with every iteration. And this will mean I has the values of 1, then 3, then 5. We know that array lists have random access data, so we do not need to access the elements of the array list in sequential consecutive order. So this traversal allows us to print out the words that have an odd index number. So when we run this code, we print out sun in west, only the elements that have odd index numbers in our array list. And that's another type of traversal that we can do with our array list. All right, so in this video, we developed some code to traverse the elements of an array list and determine what the results are. We also explored what happens when we try to traverse past the end of an array list, which does generate an index out of bounds exception. That's it for this video. Thanks for joining us here today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. We'll see you next time. Take care.